Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Miriam and today I want to share my December TBR with you. I'm so excited to read this month. It's going to be a month full of Christmas reads and just all the cozy vibes, honestly. I want to read murder mysteries. I want to read anything that will make me feel chilly and festive at the same time, if that makes any sense. So before I start, I actually want to talk about the Cloak and Dagger Christmas readathon that's happening, and I definitely want to participate in that. So the hosts of this readathon are Kate from Howe, Melanie from Melanie Martin, Janelle from Too Fond of Books, Kate from the Novel Nomad, and Carolyn from Carolyn's Reading Ramblings. And I will link their channels down below. This readathon sounds so much fun. I didn't get a chance to participate last year, but I definitely want to prioritize the prompts for those books this month. So without further ado, I want to share the books for this readathon. So the group read for the Cloak and Dagger Christmas readathon is Footsteps in the Dark by Georgette Hare. I am so excited to read this book. It has all the winter vibes. It's perfect for December, and I actually want to read through all of Georgette Hare's books, so this will only be my second. There are many to get through, but I'm really excited to continue with this book. I did read, Frederica by Georgette Hare, and I loved it. It was a lot of fun, it was super funny, so I'm really excited for this one because this is a murder mystery, so this is not her typical Regency romance. So in this book, we have three siblings who decide to move into this old priory, and it is apparently haunted. So they move in, there are all these rumors that this place is haunted, and of course they don't believe it. They love the priory, they think it's cute and cozy, and they're excited to be living in a new place. But then a murder happens. They find a murder victim, and they try to figure out what happened. And it just sounds like a crazy time, and I really want to read this. This is probably going to be the first book I read in December, and I am so excited for this one. So now I'm going to go through the prompts for this readathon, and the first one is Inspector Bucket, and this is read a Victorian mystery or one set in the Victorian era. So for this prompt, I chose The Valley of Fear by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. This is the next book in the Sherlock Holmes series, and I'm working my way through, so I just have a couple more. And so in this book, we have Sherlock, who receives a ciphered message, and he uncovers it, and he finds out that a man's life is in danger. And that's all I want to know going into this. I don't like knowing too much when I read mysteries, so Sherlock starts this, quest to find out who sent the ciphered message, and we get to meet Moriarty again, who was his enemy. And I think a short story that I read by Arthur Conan Doyle, I think we were introduced to Moriarty in the last short story in the collection that I read, so I'm just not quite sure what it's called. So yeah, this is the Victorian mystery that I will read for the Inspector Bucket prompt. So for the next prompt, it is called Inspector Gamash, read a mystery with bilingual detective or one set in a village. And one of the most famous bilingual detectives of all time, Hercule Poirot, can't go wrong here. So I'm going to read Hercule Poirot's Christmas, and again, I don't like knowing anything when I start an Agatha Christie. I just like to know who the detective is. So in this one, it's Poirot, and I do know that he solves a mystery. A murder happened at a dinner party on Christmas Eve, and that's Hercule Poirot's Christmas. Next, we have the prompt Tommy and Tuppence, and this is read a mystery that features a great team. And I recently purchased this, so I'm super excited that it fits this prompt because I am dying to read it. And that is The Thursday Murder Club. And I am so excited to read this because it's a group of 4 septuagenarians, just a group of 4 70-year-olds who decide to form a club called the Thursday Murder Club, and they try to solve unsolved mysteries until a local developer is found murdered, and they are swept into this live murder mystery. And I heard it's hilarious, and I am in the mood for some humor, so I'm really excited for this one. The next prompt is called Agatha Raisin, and that is read a mystery with an amateur sleuth. So I'm going to read Agatha Raisin book 1, and that is Agatha Raisin and the Quiche of Death. This sounds hilarious and weird, and everything that I need right now. So basically, Agatha Raisin moves to the Cotswolds. She's had an early retirement, and so she enters this quiche making competition, and her quiche ends up killing the judge. So Agatha is seen as the perpetrator, and she goes on a quest to figure out who is the actual murderer, who poisoned her quiche. Why did the judge die? So I'm really curious about this one. I've heard mixed reviews, but I know Kate Howe talks about the series sometimes, and I'm really excited to see what I think. And yeah, this is our amateur sleuth prompt. So the next couple prompts, actually, I'm going to use Hercule Poirot's Christmas to fill them, as it works for both of them. So we have Hercule Poirot read a Golden Age mystery or one set between 1920 and 1945. That fits that. Then we have Kinsey Milhone, don't know how to pronounce that, I'm sorry. Read a mystery with a private detective. Hercule Poirot, he's a private detective, so that's perfect for that prompt. So the next prompt is the Detective Galileo prompt, and this is to read a translated mystery or a mystery set in a country different from your own. So for that one, I'm going to read As Good as Dead, and this is set in America. I live in Canada. I know it's pretty close, but I'm gonna make it count. So in this story, we have a young girl named Pip, and let me just preface that this is the third book in the series, and I read the first two books, absolutely adored them. Very good mysteries. And so in this book, Pip is no longer in high school, she's about to start college, and so Pip discovers that she has a stalker, and she figures out that this stalker is actually connected to a serial killer case from 6 years ago, only the serial killer is in jail. So she's a little confused as to what the heck is going on, and she tries to figure out who her stalker is before her life is forfeit. So this is Pip trying to save her own life. So it's a little different than the first two books, but I'm really excited. I loved them. I love Holly Jackson's writing. I'm super excited to continue with the series. I'm not sure if this is the last one. I hope not, because I love Pip. She's a great protagonist, and these mysteries are awesome. I'm really excited for this. And then the last prompt for this readathon is the Flavia de Luce, which is read a children's mystery or new to you series. So this is not a new to me series. I did read the first book, which was called Winter House, and this is the second book, The Secrets of Winter House. And in this book, we have the protagonist named Elizabeth, who is a young girl, and she, in the first book, was shipped off to Winter House by her not-so-great aunt and uncle, and she was sent there to spend, I think, Christmas break, if I'm not mistaken, and she discovered some secrets associated with Winter House Hotel, and some of those secrets were connected to her and her family. So this book continues on with that plot line, so I can't really say anything about it without spoiling the first book. So yeah, this fits the Flavia de Luce prompt, as it is a middle grade mystery. So there we go. So that was all for the Cloak and Dagger Christmas readathon, and I now want to share some other books that I might get to this month. That's the hope. I don't know if I will. I'm not the best at keeping to planned TBRs unless it's for a readathon like the Cloak and Dagger Christmas readathon, but I am excited for a lot of these books, so likelihood is I will read them. If not in December, then most likely in January. So the first one is called The Lost Spells, and this book is just a work of art inside and out. I just need to like rant and rave about it, because first of all, these end papers and the art style, the watercolor paintings in here are just beautiful. And so this is just a poetry collection focusing on animals and nature, and this is my type of poetry, so I'm really excited. The dust jacket's so pretty, a little owl on the cover. Yeah, I'm probably gonna read it and then read it again and then just stare at the paintings. I can't paint to save my life, but I love looking at paintings, so I'm really excited about The Lost Spells. Next, I really want to reread this book. I watch the movie all the time. I'm just obsessed with this lovely story, and that is Little Women. This book just means everything to me. I honestly only read it for the first time last Christmas, and I don't know how I hadn't read it before. Although I did grow up watching the 1994 adaptation. I still watch it every single year. I'm obsessed. It's my favorite movie of all time. And when I read the book, I don't know why, I just wasn't really expecting the same level of charm as I get from the movie. And I was proven wrong. This book is amazing. I love the sisters, Beth, Amy, Jo, and Meg. They are just amazing. It's just, this book is everything. So I'm going to reread it. I have to reread it, whether or not I physically read it or listen to the audiobook. This book is just everything. Favorite fictional family right here. And yeah, that's Little Women. So the next book I want to share is one that I've been meaning to read for over a year, and I don't know how I still haven't read it because I absolutely love Wuthering Heights by Charlotte's sister. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I have been wanting to read this, I think since I bought this book, which was like almost 2 years ago actually, and I kept putting it off because my expectations are so high. I don't normally have high expectations going into books. If it sounds interesting, I read it and then I see what I think. But I've just seen so many people ranting and raving about it, and I know with Wuthering Heights, it's very much you either love it or you hate it. I loved Wuthering Heights, which is hilarious because actually I gave it 3 stars at the beginning, but then I kept thinking about it and then I was like, you know what? I actually adore this book. So I bumped up my rating. I really hope I love this. I really, really hope I do. I know it's about a girl named Jane who ends up moving to Thornfield Hall to be a governess, and she meets the owner, Mr. Rochester, and there are many secrets that he has, and she basically falls in love with him from what I understood, and there are just many things to be discovered and uncovered, and yeah, I heard it's full of mystery and intrigue, and again, I don't know why my expectations are so high. We'll just have to see what I think once I read it. The next book I want to read this month, if I can get to it, is The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. This is the 3rd book in the Mistborn trilogy. The first 2 books were just phenomenal, but I was left in massive book hangovers after I read both of them. So yeah, I left a couple months between the first and the second, and I think that's what ended up happening with this one. After reading the second one, I kept thinking about it, but it was just so much of that world that I needed a break, and I guess that's how I am with epic fantasy, not that I've read much. But yeah, this is the 3rd book. We have our main character, Vin, who in the first book, she was like a street thief or whatever. She didn't really have a family, and she was taken in by this group, specifically this man named Kelsier, and her magical abilities, she started to learn more about what she was able to do, which is ingest metals and use them to do things, to do magical things, which is crazy. This magic system is really, really cool, but it's just so much. I can't imagine reading this while in school because my brain is already saturated with all the nursing school things, and so reading a book like this, I needed time between books, and I needed to read it when I have some free time. So this will definitely be after exams in December. Another book I'm really excited to read, and I hope I can get to this month, is Once Upon a River by Diane Setterfield. I read The 13th Tale by her and absolutely loved it. It was such a good, poignant story, and I'm really, really excited to get to this one. So this starts on a dark, wintry night, and we're at an inn along the River Thames, and a stranger walks in holding a dead girl in his arms. And the people that are in the inn witness the man bring her in, but then they also witness her come back to life. So there's this whole mystery surrounding who is this girl and how is it that she was dead and now she's alive. And she can't tell her story because she's mute. So it depends on the people who witnessed this event to figure out what happened. So I'm really excited to get to this one. It sounds very intriguing, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And last but not least, this book has one of the most beautiful covers I have ever seen, and I am just so excited to read it because it is a Nutcracker retelling, and the Nutcracker is probably my favorite ballet of all time, and I still love the Barbie Nutcracker movie, so when I saw this and heard that it's a Nutcracker retelling, I had to have it. I'm so excited to read it. It just sounds so magical and whimsical. So it's 1906, and our protagonist, Marietta, has always longed to be a ballerina, but she's due to get married, and she has to give up this dream of hers to be a ballerina. And basically one day this mysterious toy maker moves in next to her. I think it's like the house next door, and he ends up making her theater set for her last ballet performance. But what she doesn't know is that the theater set he's making is full of magic, and so Marietta ends up whisked away to this winter wonderland that is just full of whimsy, but also something darker. So I'm really excited to get to this one. It sounds like an absolutely enchanting story, and this is exactly what I need for the Christmas season. And that is it for my December TBR. I'm really excited for this reading month. I think it's going to be just so cozy and full of murder and intrigue and magic, and I'm really looking forward to it. For those of you who are participating in the Cloak and Dagger Christmas Readathon, I'd love to know what you guys are reading. Please let me know in the comments, and even if you're not participating in the readathon, let me know what you guys are planning on reading this month, and the type of books that just bring you joy during the Christmas season. What do you guys gravitate towards? I'd love to know. So yeah, that's all for this video, and I hope to see you all in my next one. Bye!